Greetings all, it is me, Metricanthosaurus fan, the internet's #1 Jurassic Park critic, and today I'm going to talk about the latest piece of Jurassic Park media that has recently been announced. I'm of course talking about this, DreamWorks' Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, and well, let's just say it is a very interesting piece of work. So this is the article on Jurassic Outpost. And as you can see, as a little description, I'm not going to read it all out because it's quite long and most of it isn't even about the TV show. However, I will discuss what we know already. So the main piece of media we have is this image here, which I have enlarged here. So here are your 6 protagonists standing outside a gate, the Jurassic World gate, which says Camp Cretaceous on it. Now, we know from the description of this plot that it's something to do with these kids getting lost in the jungles of Jurassic Park world and working out where they how to get out. So first we can do a fairly simple character analysis with these kids down here. So I'm just going to Control+ into that now. So here we go. Here are our main characters. So straight away you can basically see that they're all pretty cliche in not necessarily their designs, but in the characterization that you can already see by the way that they are designed. So firstly, on the very right here, we have the obvious sort of female character who doesn't really want to be there sort of character. You can see she's got all those suitcases, she's holding her mobile phone up. So we can already imagine that that's going to be a fairly cliched character who just, doesn't want to be there, is complaining, basically like Claire Dearing was in the original Jurassic World film, but probably more annoying because she's a teenager. So then to the left of her we have this character who might be the only other female character. I'll get into that a bit later. This looks like basically the antithesis to this character, the usual rough and tumble female character, because clearly the creators of this new TV show haven't been very creative, so they've just decided to go, well, we'll have one who just really doesn't want to be there, and we'll balance that out with one who really does want to be there and is like more competent than every other character. And I'm all for that. It's nice to have characters who are competent and regardless of their gender, but it does seem to be that this is going to be, the hand on the hip sort of thing. That's probably quite a cliche character who's just sort of like, oh yeah, I'm tougher than everyone else and I know it sort of thing. So, I mean, I'm probably going to sort of relate to this character more than this one, but, it's still kind of disappointing that these seem to be the only 2 female characters we have. Unless, of course, this one turns out to be a female character. It's unclear because they've got quite long hair. But then Edaphosaurus has quite long hair as well, and as far as I know, they are male. So we can't be 100% sure of this person. I will say now that they all look a bit white, don't they? All the characters do look a bit primeval shaded, I would say. They're or for that matter, Jurassic Park shade. I mean, let's be honest. The representation outside of very pale people in Jurassic Park is not exactly stellar, is it? And yes, the cliche of the black guy dying first does seem quite common in Jurassic Park and World, and doesn't look like this is changing that very much, is it? So anyway, so then on the very left hand we've got this character here who's got a quiff, and he's got a briefcase. So I think he can be one of 2 things, basically. I think there's one of 2 possible characterizations they're going to use for this character. So either he's going to be, that sort of rich kids, the boss is like, I don't know, maybe one of Mr. Masrani's investors is just like, hey, I want you to look after my son and send him to Camp Cretaceous, and then he's just going to be like the really annoying one, even more annoying than this girl, and he's just going to be like, oh, I hate sun and mosquitoes and dinosaurs and I don't care, I just want to get money. There's actually a character almost exactly like that in the Book of Claire, which was the novelization that came out last year, which was like a sort of prequel novel to Jurassic World. So I think there's a good chance that this guy's going to be that sort of character. Alternatively, this briefcase is actually like a computer bag or something, and then this is the nerd character. So that would probably imply sort of quite different characterization. As you see, he is basically dressed the most smart of the people here. So yeah, I mean, this guy sort of could go one of two ways. I kind of hope it's the nerd character, but, you know, generally these sorts of things tend to have really annoying characters, at least at first, and so I'm thinking this one's going to be the snooty posh kid. So then this one I've sort of touched on, unclear whether this is a bloke or a lady, but, you know, or maybe they're gender ambiguous. You know, if Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous decides to completely push the boat out and add a sort of non-binary, gender-ambiguous character, absolutely, good job, please do it. But we all know that that's not what you're going to do. So if this is a female character, well, then this could be like still pretty groundbreaking, because, you know, big tough female character generally, you know, they generally sort of are this sort of agile, oh yeah, I'm, you know, quick and fast and I can dodge things, but generally being really tanky is not a particularly common attribute people give to female characters even in this day and age. So it would be neat if that was what they decided to go for. Or alternatively, this is like the big brash blokey guy, you know, the sort of Maui sort of character. I'm just thinking because of the long hair. So, you know, that one could also go one of two ways. The former more interesting, the latter more likely. Then this guy almost exactly looks like Timmy from the first movie. He's even got that like big ears and the thin neck and all that stuff. I think this is obviously the youngest character of the show, and is probably going to be like a bit like the kid in Jurassic World, like really into dinosaurs. Like, oh, actually all the young kids in Jurassic World are into dinosaurs, and all the older ones are just like, I don't care. Which is really dumb, because in the books, it's the other way around. It's Lex who's the younger one, and she doesn't care about dinosaurs. But anyway, you can tell I'm an older brother. So in this one, I'm really thinking that this guy's going to be like a little kid who's really keen on dinosaurs. But you know, he sort of you know, he's probably not very competent. He's probably like the most likely to get into trouble because of his keenness on dinosaurs. And then finally, we've got this guy here, who seems to be carrying a sports bag. And so this guy, oh yeah, and he's got like stripes. Oh no, hang on, that's his arm. Anyway, this guy almost certainly looks like the sort of sports bro guy. He might pick on this guy and this guy, and he probably, like, I don't know, surfs or skateboards. It's usually one of those two. And he's going to be like, oh yeah, radical dude, I don't really care about dinosaurs. I'm here for the sun and the chicks and all that sort of stuff. And he's going to be really obnoxious. So far, I think I've basically found almost all of the characters to be hypothetically really obnoxious, except probably this one and maybe this one. But, you know, I'm making a lot of judgments before I've seen this, because that's exactly what I do here. So yeah, I'm just going to judge this. This thing comes out in more than a year's time. I think it's like August 2020, but, you know, I'm still judging it already. So that's the first bit of media. Now, last thing to look at is the whole sort of gate itself, and it's really nicely designed. It really looks more like the Jurassic Park gate than the Jurassic World gate. Even the colors are more Jurassic Park, which is neat. You've also got like a Triceratops and a Pteranodon, and yeah, on the gates, which is cool. I think all the stylistic touches are really nice. I mean, the whole art style is really good. We're not 100% sure. It's because it's a DreamWorks show. We're not 100% sure if it's 2D or 3D. It's probably 3D, and we'll get into that because we're now going to look at the trailer they put out, or the teaser they put out, because this sort of really should imply how you know, how it will be styled. So here we go. So as you see, the graphics are already really good on this. You've got, you know, really nice CGI landscape, and yeah, as the usual, something has survived. Cliche, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, here's the raptor. We're not 100% sure who the raptor is. It might just be a like wild raptor. Some people say it's Delta, but it's probably a wild raptor. Generally, the Jurassic Park franchise, particularly the spin-offs, has a habit of going all, oh yeah, we're gonna add some new raptors to the mix, and it's like, come on, guys, you know, you don't need to keep adding raptors. You could come up with new dinosaurs, but no, it's always like, oh, and then there's this other population of raptors that we didn't mention, and here they are. So that's kind of disappointing, but at the same time, it's a teaser. It almost certainly isn't 100% representative. A lot of people have already pointed out on Twitter that this is almost certainly not how good the CGI is going to be. Because if it's a TV series, which is like between 6 and 13 episodes or whatever, it is not going to have CGI that good necessarily. Maybe the landscapes will be okay, but you know, the characters aren't going to be too detailed probably, and nor are the dinosaurs. So what can we really say other than the predictions that I've made about the characters? You know, the 6 teenagers chosen for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So, and this is basically the only thing we know about it. You know, that they're stuck, they're stranded, they are unable to reach the outside world, and there are dinosaurs around. We don't know which dinosaurs are going to appear, but it's fairly safe to assume it's going to be the boring Jurassic Park dinosaurs and nothing original. Maybe if we're lucky, baryonyx might turn up. We might finally get some nice characterization of baryonyx, but otherwise it does look to be, you know, your plain basic Jurassic Park dinosaurs. Yeah, that's basically all we can say about this. I just wanted to sort of put this little video together to complain about things that we have absolutely no idea about how good they're going to be, because that's exactly what I do.